is Vincent Maurice. I was named after my mother's two brothers, and even though Uncle Vincent was an upstanding, God-fearing man, I can't say the same for the other because Maurice was a beast in them streets. What some might describe as a hustler. And even though I rarely had a chance to speak to the man, I know when I did, I didn't trust him, but it didn't matter because he was my uncle, and for that reason, I will always love him. Or should I say, I would have always loved him. Because it was those neighborhood streets that was still his heartbeat that day those dudes got to busting. And even though the bullets weren't meant for him, which is why they caught the majority of them now, I can't stand up here and make him seem like he was an angel. Because the reality is that he wasn't. But the life that he led, that he deserves to be dead, because I'm telling you now that it doesn't. And for anybody who would say that it does, try explaining that to our two fatherless cousins, who like me, is trying to figure out how much in him is left of us. Now when my uncle was alive, I never wanted to think that I was above him. So when I see dudes in the streets doing the same thing, I try my best not to judge them. Because I realize that at the end of the day, sometimes circumstances make it this way. It puts brothers in a difficult position. And when you ain't got nothing to eat and there's money in the streets, you're going to do what you got to do to get a pot to piss in. And quite frankly, what else they expect a brother to do in other ways to get money is missing. And see, that is the reason why I wrote this piece, because he was something that deserves to be mentioned. Now, even though I lost my uncle to gang violence, I never want to knock another man's hustle. And I still have respect for the gang. And I understand that what leads a brother to do this in the first place, I'm not even going to say it's the hustlers to blame. Because I have slept in my car and lived out the park, and I'm not going to say I want Disney to do the same. But there comes a point in your life where you look at our community striving, you got to think that these shits got to change. Because let's not get it confused, the hood's paying its dues, and right now it's expecting some change. That change had to start with you. It had to start with me. You see, I realized that I can no longer only be concerned with the well-being of those kids that are close to me. Because it is that complacency that's making these kids think that this is how things are supposed to be. That their current set of circumstances forever defines them and makes it impossible for their goals to reach. We gotta show them something different, and I understand that goes for me. And that's why niggas that wants my friends that have to be foes to me. Because I'm trying to lead a better example for those to see. Please believe. We can no longer subscribe to the tenet that those who are trying to clean up our communities are doing nothing more than snitching. Because pardon my French, but I think it is those that are out there destroying it are really the ones that should stop bitching. Because in reality, your actions are your own karma. So you can't fuck with a dirty game and wonder why your cock's itching. See, instead of trying to be a harder nigga, why not trying to be a father nigga? Because that's really what the block's missing. See, we are glorifying the lifestyle that is defaming our women, putting priorities in our lives that are not our children. And some of us don't even realize it until the kids praying to God and your name's not mentioned. But how can he miss what to him is not existent? You see, it may take a village to raise a child, but the absence of a single male can fail him. And how really we expect these boys to grow up to be men when there's not a man around to tell him? So instead he's falling victim to a society that quite frankly is willing to sell him short. And I think instead of educating him, it's easier to jail him. And now he's hanging by a thread that's real thin, looking for us, asking for us to help him. So what are we going to tell him? Black men, we are at a point now where we have to become vehicles of change. But the difficulty is while half of us are trying to move forward focused, the other half are trying to dodge magnums. Looking for answers in the streets for the entire time God's had them. See, we need to be teaching our youth the truth where it lies. But instead of being involved in black on black crime, we're learning to Q45. So from this moment until infinity, we got to teach them that we are not the enemy. You see, you all may not think that you're revolutionaries, but contrary to popular opinion, you are all part of a revolution, part of a solution. Where we have to go from young black males who are often associated with guns, crack, and jail to African American men. Determined to make a change, but this all must begin. Our communities. We must go from referring to our women as bitches and hoes to supporting them as women with goals. Because they are the backbone of every family. So I'm asking you to say something, do something, be something that will help our communities and increase our peace. Because my real name is Vincent Maurice. I was named after my mother's two brothers, and even though Uncle Vincent was an upstanding God-fearing man, I can't say the same for the other because Maurice, well, he's my uncle that's now deceased. And I lost him without getting justice. But I carry his name, so that his death's not in vain. And my will to make change is because of Columbus. Y'all help me make change. Rest in peace. First of all, let me apologize for what it is that I'm about to say to you. Because normally as a gentleman, there would be no reason I would come and speak this way to you, but I've sat quietly by and watched them other dudes lie when all you wanted them to do was say the truth. Spit lines. I sat quietly by when you watched them other men lie when all you wanted them to do is say the truth. Spit lines that they think will allow them to have their way with you. Confuse the fact that you have game as an invitation to play with you. Do what they think needs to be done just so that they can lay with you, but at the same time, they already trying to come up with their excuse. as to why they got to get up early in the morning and can't stay with you. Y'all heard that line before?
Tell the young one.
See, they too busy. See, they too busy watching Love Jones trying to be that brother to the night to spend the day with you. Claiming to worship the ground that you walk on, yet they look perplexed when you ask them to pray with you because their approach is predictable. See, they're at the bar trying to purchase your emotions with mixed liquor. Bragging that they make 6 figures, claim that their dick's bigger, that they can lick your click quicker, but it figures. I said they're at the bar trying to purchase your emotions with mixed liquor. Bragging that they make 6 figures, claim that their dick's bigger, that they can lick your click quicker, but it figures. Because a man that lacks substance must make claims that he can't substantiate. While a real man just is, by definition, we can't be fake. You see, I'm not trying to get you in bed, but instead I'm asking why can't we wait? Because I know that day's been predetermined and we can't be fake.
Yeah.
Besides, I know that if I'm patient, the day will come when I will be able to hit it from the back so hard that you can't see straight. Patient, the day will come when I will be able to hit it from the back so hard that you can't see straight. But if I allow it to happen now, we can be lovers, but we can't be mates. So instead, I would much rather we wait, so we can have the kind of love that only He creates. Yeah! Because I realize that it is much more than a cute face and thin waist that makes you fly. You see, I'm more concerned about what are your past, what that motivates you, what makes you cry. I want to be the motivating force when you think you can't, I make you try. I'm trying to travel to the depth of your soul only to take you high. Because I realize that it's much more than thick thighs and brown eyes that make you fine. You see, I'm trying to take your breath away. So when you want to speak to me, I'll make you silent. I want to do everything that needs to be done to make you mine, because I need your 1,000 gigawatts to power my plus capacitor so we can travel through space and time. And I realize that you're apprehensive. And I may even be able to weaken your defenses with some of these breakthrough lines, but in order for you to truly fall in love with me, well, that is going to take you time. Yeah. And that's okay. I'm just trying to make sure that while you're waiting for your exhale, that you're not waiting for your ex. Hell yeah. Trying to keep a dude around you that you know is no good only makes it more difficult for the next meal. And I know that you're looking at me thinking that I'm like, God, particularly when you get home, you hope that other dude hits you on the next tail, but we both know that he won't because he's too busy hitting the next tail. And now you wonder why it is that you only get approached by dudes whose idea of a compliment is saying that they like the way your chest swells, or like sleep press-on nails, and some dudes are even bold enough to walk right up to you and say, hey, Mom, I'm just trying to see how their breasts feel. But that's still being disrespectful when it's nothing more than to lick it and quit it, suck it and fuck it. And I apologize for speaking so explicitly, but I want you to buy into what I'm saying, and they say that sex sells. You see, I don't want you to lower your standards. I just want to make sure that you have some. I don't want to take a chance on this love. I don't want to suffer for the things that other dudes have done. I've been praying to God for a good man because he spoke to me and told me that it's time that you have one. But I'll be lying if I said when it came to issues I have none. I mean, look at me. I'm not tall, dark, and handsome like Morris Chestnut. I look in the mirror every day and wish I had a little less guts. With trade-in jeans and tennis shoes and sometimes dressed up, but when I mess up, I wish that I wouldn't lie about that. I would just fess up. But guess what? When I write a list of priorities in my life after God, there is just us. And the only thing that I'm ever going to ask from you is just love. And the only thing that you're ever going to need to give to me is just love. So I'm asking you to trust, love, trust me. Trust that even though love is blind, everything you try to show, I'm a see. And trust that even though I don't have much everything you need, I'm a be. Because it's the sun that's in your eyes, you can stand under me because, gee, I'm a tree. See, I know you've been looking toward the skies for your sign. And I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but my treasures are stored in heaven, so I don't need you to co-sign. Yeah. I just want you to remember this theorem, that even though on the outside we may be opposite and different, alternate interior angles are congruent. So on the inside you're my equal, because you love what we're pursuing. Yeah. And all of you came from homeboys think that you're A squared. Because if it means anything with you, then I will gladly be squared. Adding them together
together and the world will see squared and know that love is our hypotenuse. And I'm not even trying to be Pythagoras. I mean, hell, when I was in school, I barely passed calculus, but I know that just like mathematics, there's a formula to having bliss. And I'm willing to dedicate all of my nice days with you if it means having this, because we both know that it's not that easy. You see, our lives consist of consistent inconsistencies. And even in the last 5 minutes of me trying to explain this, I know you've gotten confused trying to get the sense of me. And I wish that I could tell you that it's easy, but unfortunately this is me. A man is filled with simple complexities. But I promise that if you take a chance on me, I will give you the best of me. And even when I'm away, I will have you come for me. And that's without having sex with me. Yeah. To you as to whether or not you want to take a chance on this or just sit connected to me. Because I can't make the decision alone. Collectively, we are a democracy. And know that it's too late to apologize, so let me end it by saying this because my mind is wondering what you think of it. So on behalf of every dude in here, let me say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the things I felt the need to say to you. Because normally as a gentleman, there would be no reason that I would come and speak this way to you, but if I just say that chivalry is alive, you would think that I'm a lie, so I'm deciding to just say the truth. And we do want to lay with you. We do want to have our way with you, but we also want to pray for you and spend the rest of our days with you. Just take my hand, accept my apology, and make what I say the truth. Thank you.